The Holga camera, a cheap plastic camera, first produced in 1982 or thereabouts, made up of predominantly plastic with very few metal pieces. The shutter spring, and I think the tripod holder are probably the only metal pieces in, and the cold shoe. The Holga camera with a plastic lens is full of characteristics which has made it into a cult camera really. It's known for its light leaks, its soft focus, its vignetting, its falling apart, which a lot of photographers like myself would generally tape it up with some electrical tape to block out the light leaks. But it's a fun camera to shoot and a very enjoyable camera to shoot, which produces really beautiful images, generally sharp in the center, and working to a soft vignetting on the outside. Back in 2018, I produced a photozine of a collection of images. I named it Dublin Through a Holga. And it was just rambles about the city, photographing scenes of the city, buildings. I produced them into a photozine, short run of 50, which sold out fairly quickly. And each copy I gave a free print for those who purchase one would enjoy that print. You can see the characteristics of the vignetting and the sharpness in the center in some instances, but really soft on the outside. Then a few months ago I was contacted by a photographer I followed for a number of years on social media, George Griffin, flaneur on the streets and flaneur with a camera. Check out George's work. Myself and George have spoken a number of times in recent years, just talking about the various photographs or projects we might be working on ourselves. And George had asked me about my zine that I'd produced a couple of years previously, and George had made a collection of images using his Holga around the city of London. And George said, you know, would I mind if he was to produce a zine similar to mine in design, but featuring images of London, and of course produced by George. I was delighted that George asked, and I really looked forward to the results. So after chatting to George a couple of weeks ago, he told me the zine was produced and it was up on his Etsy site, and we'd had a chat, and George let me know that it was one in the post for me. And today the postman arrived, and I couldn't wait to open the envelope and to see that it was George's zine produced and similar in layout to my own, which is a real honour for me. Thanks, George. Is London Through a Holga. And when I opened it up, apart from a small note from George, also gave me a print of one of the images inside the zine. As I look through the zine, it is beautifully produced. The images are all classic Holga images. You know, vignetting, soft edges, sharp in the centre, and just that beautiful texture you get when an image from a Holga is printed on paper. As we flick through it, you can just see the beautiful images of the various areas around London, of which George has captured so well in this book. So if I can encourage you all to seek out George's social media platforms, and certainly check out his Etsy page. I'll put a link in the description, and maybe purchase a copy of this because it's sure to sell out. So George, well done on a beautiful production, and it's going to take pride of place on my bookshelf, and the print will go with a number of other prints I have framed around the house. So thank you all.